Hello guys, welcome to Storytimes. Thanks for joining us. Today we've got a brand new story to share with you. Support the channel by liking, commenting, and subscribing. I promise, even more interesting stories. I, 32M, never thought I'd be posting here about relationship drama, but here we are. My fiancée Sarah, 29F, and I have been together for almost 3 years, engaged for 6 months. Everything seemed great. We had a wedding date set for next spring, we'd been house hunting, and I genuinely thought we were rock solid. Until last Tuesday, I came home from work to find Sarah sitting at our kitchen table with a strange expression. She asked if we could talk about something important. My stomach immediately dropped. Those words are never followed by good news. I think we need to take a break, she said, not quite meeting my eyes. Just for a little while. When I asked why, her answer knocked the wind out of me. Her ex, Mark, had reached out to her a few weeks ago. They dated for 4 years before us and apparently had a messy breakup where he cheated on her. According to Sarah, he's been doing a lot of soul-searching and realized she was the one that got away. He wants to meet up and talk, she explained. I just need some space to figure things out. I was stunned. Figure what out exactly? Whether you want to be with me or the guy who cheated on you. It's complicated, she said. Mark and I have history. I thought I was over it. But when he contacted me, I just need to know for sure. That's when I lost it a bit. Know what for sure? We're engaged. We're planning a wedding. What is there to figure out? Sarah started crying, saying she didn't want to go into marriage with any doubts or what-ifs hanging over her head. She claimed she just needed to see him once to get closure. Are you interested in your ex? I asked point blank. Her hesitation before answering told me everything. I don't know. She finally admitted. What the fuck, Sarah? I couldn't believe what I was hearing. You don't know if you're interested in your cheating ex while wearing my engagement ring. She got defensive, saying I was being unfair and that she was just being honest with me rather than hiding her feelings. She said a break would be healthier than her secretly wondering, what if, throughout our marriage. I told her I wasn't going to sit around as a backup plan while she explored rekindling things with her ex. Either we're together or we're not. If she needs to explore things with Mark, then our engagement is off, not on pause. She called me controlling and said I wasn't being understanding of how difficult this was for her. Apparently, I should be more confident in our relationship if I truly loved her and that my ultimatum was just proving I didn't trust her. I spent the night at my brother's place. When I came back the next day, she had packed a bag and left a note saying she was staying with her sister for a while to think things through. Our mutual friends are split. Some think I'm being too harsh and should give her the space to get closure, while others agree with me that this crosses a major line. It's been a week since Sarah left to stay with her sister. The first few days were absolute hell. I couldn't sleep, couldn't eat, and spent most of my time either staring at the wall or scrolling through photos of us together wondering how we got here. I reached out to her twice, once just to check if she was okay, and the second time to ask if she'd made her decision yet. Her responses were brief, I'm fine, and I need more time. Meanwhile, our wedding venue has been calling about final deposits, and I've been dodging calls from relatives asking about wedding plans. On day 4, my brother convinced me to meet him for drinks. Over beers, he told me something he'd been holding back. He saw Sarah having coffee with Mark at a cafe downtown. They weren't holding hands or anything, but they were clearly deep in conversation. She's not just thinking things through, he said. She's actively rekindling something with this guy. I felt physically sick. This wasn't just about closure or addressing lingering questions. She was actively pursuing whatever spark might still exist between them while keeping me on the hook. When I got home, I made a decision. I packed up all of Sarah's things into boxes, placed her engagement ring on top, and texted her that she could pick everything up whenever she wanted. I've made my decision even if you haven't made yours, I wrote. That's when the floodgates opened. She called me immediately, crying and furious. How could I do this? Didn't I understand she was confused? Didn't 3 years together earn her a little patience while she sorted through complicated feelings? She hadn't even slept with Mark. They were just talking. Just talking was enough for me. The fact that she needed to explore whether she wanted to be with someone else told me everything I needed to know about her commitment to our relationship. The fallout has been messy. Sarah's sister called me an asshole, saying Sarah was just being honest about her feelings instead of burying them. Her best friend suggested that if I truly loved her, I would fight for her instead of giving ultimatums. Even my mother said I might be acting rashly and should give Sarah space to work through her feelings. But here's the thing. I don't want to be with someone who isn't 100% certain they want to be with me. I don't think that's controlling or unfair. It's self-respect. 2 days ago, Sarah showed up at our apartment to collect her things. She looked terrible, red-eyed and exhausted. She asked if we could talk, and against my better judgment, I agreed. She said she'd made a terrible mistake. Meeting with Mark had only confirmed that their relationship was truly over. He hadn't changed. He just wanted what he couldn't have. She swore she realized how much she loved me and wanted to come home. I asked her the obvious question. If I hadn't packed your things and ended things, would you still be figuring things out with him right now? Her silence was deafening. That's what I thought, I said. She broke down crying, admitting she'd been confused and made a terrible mistake. She begged for another chance, saying she'd do anything to rebuild my trust. It's been 2 weeks since Sarah came to collect her things, and almost a month since this nightmare began. I've been doing a lot of thinking about what happened and where to go from here. After Sarah left that day, I went no contact. I blocked her number, social media, everything. I needed space to process my own feelings without her influence. My friends thought I was being harsh, but I knew it was necessary for me to think clearly. During this time, I learned more about what actually happened. According to mutual friends, Sarah had been in contact with Mark for nearly 2 months before she asked for our break, not just the few weeks she claimed. They'd been texting regularly, and she'd met him for lunch twice before telling me anything. When she finally confessed, it wasn't out of honesty, but because Mark had given her an ultimatum of his own. This revelation hit me like a truck. What I thought was painful honesty was actually the tail end of an emotional affair that had been going on behind my back. Sarah hadn't been forthcoming. She'd been caught in a situation of her own making and was trying to have it both ways. Yesterday, I finally agreed to meet Sarah at a neutral location, a park where we used to walk on weekends. She looked different somehow, smaller and less certain than the woman I'd proposed to. I made the worst mistake of my life, she said immediately. I let nostalgia and unresolved feelings cloud my judgment. Mark and I are completely done. I've blocked him everywhere, and I know now that what we have, what I threw away, is what I truly want. I listened quietly as she detailed her plan to rebuild trust, complete transparency with her phone and social media, couples counseling, postponing the wedding until we were on solid ground again. She had clearly thought it through. When she finished, I asked the question that had been haunting me. If Mark hadn't revealed himself to still be the same person who hurt you before, would you have come back to me? She started to cry. I don't know. I was confused. But I know now that even considering going back to him was a mistake. What we have is real and worth fighting for. Her honesty was both painful and refreshing. I told her I needed more time. Part of me wants to try again. 3 years of love, and plans don't disappear overnight. But another part knows that something fundamental has been broken, and I'm not sure it can be repaired. Our friends are still divided. Some think I should forgive her. Everyone makes mistakes, and she didn't physically cheat. Others believe I'd be a fool to trust her again, that this pattern would repeat itself whenever an ex or someone new caught her eye. In the end, this isn't about who's the asshole. It's about whether I can rebuild trust with someone who was willing to put our entire relationship on hold to explore feelings for someone else. It's about whether I can look at her without wondering if she's thinking about him. It's about whether I deserve someone who chooses me without hesitation. I still don't know what I'm going to do, but for the first time in a month, the decision feels like it's truly mine to make, not a reaction to her actions. And there's some peace in that. I appreciate you watching till the end. Hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for more content.